Hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to Rift Session 7 with the Signature 6. Last we left off, you guys are 2 days on your journey south to Ravensong Station. You encountered an individual named Teyo, whose lands you're currently traversing, and whose lands you will reach the edge of at the end of your next day of travel at the current rate of pace. But last we left off, you were settling in for the evening. So today when we pick up, you'll be getting up for the day. So happy morning, Signature 6.
Did you guys finish all? Did everybody finish their apples out of curiosity? And it's a super weird question to start the session.
Joel and I did.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think.
And somebody ate my apple, right?
I think Adelaide did.
Oh, Adelaide.
I
yes.
believe that. I don't remember, but I believe
Yeah.
that.
That's canon now.
But mind if I get your guys' apple course?
What are you gonna do with it?
Buckle, take it, walk off into the woods, and he'll bury them as if to plant like another tree. Go after done planting, I'll be like, oh, I gotta get my trap.
There's a big sack of provisions right next to a snapped shut trap. There's a pretty healthy stick that's been used to trigger the bear trap. Big old sack of provisions. Meat, vegetables, fruit, some salted jerky. Just some stuff to keep you going.
I'll pack up the trap, I'll grab the provisions, sling them over my back, and then I'll make my way back to that group.
Well, Signature 6. As the sun rises, you remount your little push cart onto the train tracks. No trains passed you in the night, which, is part of why you got a decent night's sleep. Carol and Faraday, you had a interesting night, interacting with a very large moth. But otherwise, y'all awaken pretty well rested, eager to continue your journey south.
I guess I would just go up and say bye to the boom moth and let it know that it can now you take the fire as it pleases.
Okay. Yeah, it will immediately. It will fly down and kind of absorb the ash and the cinders and the smoke, and then it will kind of shake a little bit, and a whole bunch of this dark gray dust kind of falls where the campfire was, and it flies back up into the tree, gives you a little knowing nod before nestles back into the tree, covers its eyes.
All right, I'm ready.
You good?
I'm going to collect the powder.
Okay. Yeah.
Why do you gather the ash?
It's an interesting product that the boom moth produces that we can utilize in various tests. It's a good source of heat if I need it. T, is there any kind of spell that you know that could augment someone else's strength or anything that would help?
Not at this level.
How big is that rucksack of provisions? It doesn't take up a whole lot, does it?
It's like a full-on knapsack thing.
Damn.
It's another
Okay.
person's weight.
He gave you effectively 30 pounds of traveling food.
Yeah,
It's enough, to be fair, it'll feed you guys for 2 days.
Bogged down.
Yeah.
But you'll be eating well. You're not going to
Wow.
be eating road rations.
Yeah.
Good.
But there's
I owe him
there's
so
some
much.
gore meat in there. There's some vegetables.
Is Bud strong at all to do? I think I asked this 3 weeks ago, but
Bud's got -4 might, so
Styx is at a solid -2 as well, so.
Dito can hop in here. He's got a 2.
Yes.
I could check Fizz.
Use that noggin.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yes. That is official, yeah?
Yeah.
Do you want to make it Facebook official?
That is.
Okay.
Put it down.
Dodito's name is Asiago. Write it down. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do the first one if Dodito and Fizz.
Fizz.
God,
Yeah.
brain.
Dodito and Fizz could take one side, and then Buck could
Okay.
take the other.
Sounds good.
Do it.
let's
Alright.
do that.
And 2 16s.
216.
Plus your might.
Plus a 2. Sorry, 18.
Asiago's strong.
Yeah, 11.
11? Okay.
Not bad.
It's above a 10, so you're able to get the cart moving. The lot of you are able to pile onto this thing, and Asiago, it's rough going at first. You're like, maybe Fizz is the wrong choice, because you are just hopping up and down, and Fizz is and his tiny little body's just trying to pull it down, and then he goes, wait, and he snaps ahead, and there's a little explosion, and it pushes him down, and then he snaps below. So it's not going to be super sustainable for Fizz, but it's enough to get the cart going. And then Asiago, you're in a rhythm. You're like, yes, up, down, let's do this. So you guys do manage to maintain a good traveling pace for the first 2-3 hours that you're on the road. Or on the rails, rather. And then, Fizz, you start to get real tired of making the snaps. All of you are like, this is so loud. It's just pish, pish, pish. And Asiago, you're getting tired. But you have done great work.
Thanks.
And Buck, you're over there just going, all right, Fizz, can you... Oh, jeez. Ah! Just explosions going off all around you. But you guys do cover a good amount of miles.
Ready to do it again?
All right, let's go.
All right, so for Adelaide, Adelaide, go ahead and make your might test. You can do it. I believe in you. Uh-oh,
Come
no.
on, buddy.
Is it a 1?
No.
No.
I got a 15.
15 and 1.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy. All right, Adelaide.
Maybe this cart wasn't a good idea.
Adelaide, you're like,
I'm still pretty tired. Dr. Carroll.
Adelaide, you just go,
take over?
wow, this is exhausting. And Faraday, you're like, it's really not that bad. And Adelaide's like, this is really tiring. But Faraday, you are currently in the process of pushing this cart by yourself. And Adelaide's like, wow.
Can Bean assist as well, I guess?
I'll give you late stage assistance.
No, I mean like a jump and like he'll
yeah,
jump
Bean, that's
and
what
then,
I'm saying.
lay
Like
down.
Bean can jump in and help you
He'll
and see if he can
actually
salvage
help
this.
push it.
But is it another
It's a 9.
a 9?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh boy.
So
Still
mercifully
not enough.
for you, combined it's now a 10. but it's not a great 10. So Bean is doing 90% better a job than Adelaide. So Bean is actually helping you. So Faraday, there's no downside to you. But Adelaide, it is very clear that you're not helping a ton, and when you are, you're going to hurt yourself. You're like flinging your arms up and down. You're like, more power! It's kind of a rough go. You're sort of trying to like out-science this. You're like, what's the most efficient way instead of just getting the cart moving? So
My arms feel like floppy fish. This is not working out well.
Bucky, you're just like sweating. You're like, you kidding me?
I like take my hat off and I'm like fanning myself. I'm like, God damn.
But I'll say you guys, you're probably about 90 minutes into this batch, and then up ahead on the side of the railway, you do see about 30 individuals walking your way. 2 very large standards being kind of walked with them. They have a all black, like obsidian black carriage being pulled in the middle of them, and they are all marching relatively at ease, but weapons drawn.
Yeah, Buck seeing weapons around, he'll kind of put his rifle, just having it available.
Are these the people he warned us about?
Hard to say. We should err on the side of caution.
I do see banners, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Do I
2
recognize?
big banners.
Do I recognize the banners?
Adelaide and Carol immediately pick up one of the old houses of Ciderland. You see the sigil of House Tulloch. It's a black banner with a bright green wyvern on it. As for what you remember about them, I will give the Cytofolk among us. So we've got Carol and Adelaide. I will give you a history test if you want to kind of figure out what they're all about.
17?
17's pretty good.
19.
19's even better.
Ooh.
So the 2 of you pretty quickly pick up on the... House Tulloch was the first house to tame a Riftkin. They are the ones that pioneered the actual art of taming and taught everyone else to do it. They were originally the first to also, which is part of how this came about, they were the inventors of like keeping livestock. They were the first to do it. They were the reason that the
Like
Tenable
domestication.
tribes, yes.
Okay.
They were the ones that figured out animal husbandry and being able to breed enough animals to keep a village fed so that populations could grow instead of just moving on and hunting. So they're an old house of Ciderland. So it's a little strange to see their sigils here, but all 10 of the Tenevoke tribes do have a presence in Carcassonne.
Given my history, not my actual history, but like, would I know who would run this company?
This is a free company? I thought this was a house.
Well,
Well,
that's
the banner
banners
is the
they're
banner is
carrying.
of the house,
Oh.
but
But
the
yeah,
free
it's a
company is
3.
marching. Bonus points to you for realizing that that's weird. Yeah, go ahead and make a history test.
3 minus 1 equals 3.
Minus 1 equals 2. Wow. Yeah, no, nothing really clicks. Nothing clicks right away. So Adelaide realizes, yeah, it's weird. A free company shouldn't be flying the banners of a recognizable entity. They should have their own.
Okay.
But it's up to you guys if you would just stay on the tracks and keep going, or if you would
Halt a little.
like slow down and clear out of their way, or whatever you want to do.
Buck would
I
say,
think
tell
we
you how
keep
to act.
going. Yeah.
Buck would be like, we go.
I say we keep going as well.
30 versus 6 is not a. I only got
Plus some Riftkin.
17 bullets.
It's
Do you
like,
think they'd want
line
to
up?
fight
You're gonna have to
us?
share.
I think they'd want to what?
Do you think they'd want to fight us?
Known a free company, and Teyo said to watch out for them and whatever they got going on. They said there's something sketchy and to not catch their, by his words, ire. I'd say we just keep going.
Yeah, it is odd that they have a banner though. Like they belong to a group, the Tullux. Because a free company wouldn't have that, so that might not be the group he was referring to.
Yeah, but how many groups of people are traveling up and down by foot here? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'd just say
we're
I
on a
think we
time
keep
limit,
going.
so I'm totally okay to just keep going. I was just curious why your first thought was that it would be an aggressive meeting.
That's
Most militaries are.
that is his persona.
Aggressive?
You shoot first, ask questions later.
Shut up, T.
So it makes sense that you would assume others would be aggressive.
Fair play.
Do you think they stop us on the way, or we can press on and get through easily?
I think they'd probably stop us, maybe ask some questions about how the road ahead looks, kind of maybe use that as a guise to get
Okay.
through. And then they'll be like, why don't we just, hang out, take a quick break, and sit by the fire and talk and chat, and then everything kind of leads up to another.
Are we gonna cross paths, or are they like off
Yeah,
here?
they
and we're on
They're
the
they're
railroad?
not on the rails.
Yeah.
Right.
They're on
just
the
walking.
they're on the
Yeah.
road next to the rails.
Yeah.
Which is very ill trodden. So they're kind of struggling with horse-drawn carriage.
So would
but-
they be within talking distance if we were?
Oh, absolutely,
okay.
yeah. You'll be within feet of them.
Okay.
So Carol, Buck, and T, go ahead and make an awareness test. As you two are just kind of keeping
Awareness.
pace for now. You guys just let me know if you slow down or speed up or whatever you want to do. But
Maintain speed.
maintain course, Captain.
Jump.
17.
17,
12.
12,
7.
7. Okay. So we'll go from the lowest to the highest. So Carol, as you start to get closer and closer and closer to this group, you notice that they don't take any aggressive actions, but they do form up a little bit tighter around that carriage. Pretty common practice for anybody on the road. You never know who you're running into, especially if someone's coming at you on a little hand cart. It's like,
Fair.
I'm coming for you! You can't tell if they're exasperated or if they're like hunting.
Also, I said
So-
just maintain.
Yeah, everybody kind of just
Don't.
squeezes in. They've got a bunch of like round shields and spears. So if you guys were to be a problem, they would at least have the range on you. You do notice there's somebody driving this carriage, and there's someone sitting next to them in a very casual stance, wearing the same gear, but is currently plucking away at a guitar. Just kind of strumming away a little bit. 12?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 12, you'll notice the same sort of military structure. Everybody kind of zones in, but your more military mind will point out two specific individuals that a lot of the younger looking soldiers are looking to for how to act. So should anything happen, I'll let you know who those are.
Perfect.
T, you get a very strong, like, hair on the back of the neck, supernatural vibe of, like, we're being watched. And at first, your eyes just dart to the carriage, and then you realize off to the side of you, keeping pace with the cart, is a 15-year-old girl. wearing the same dark armor as the group that's walking towards you. And on the other side of you is someone who is moving completely silently through the trees. And they seem to be communicating with one another using their hands.
Don't look, but we're being followed on both sides.
Our cart?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were saying the cart is
Keeping
their
pace with you.
carriage.
No.
Keeping pace with you,
Got it.
running towards the company.
And as far as I can tell, they seem as if they are part of this party.
Do we need to double time it?
Pick it up a little bit, and Buck will kind of just nonchalantly, he'll kind of cock the revolver.
They may just be taking a look at us. Maybe don't instigate anything.
But they're coming from our direction, the way that we were coming from.
They're just keeping pace to look at us, it seems. It's not like they are meeting.
I know, but if they're this is us, this is them, and there's these two following us, so they could have been following us the entire time.
Well, then we suck.
I mean, I'm just trying to keep my, I have no idea, but that's why I'm just prepared for the worst.
But expect the best. Here we go.
Hope you know how to use that gun, Doc.
Is your intention to just go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Straight past?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you'll see as the company gets closer and closer, you can start to hear that the troops are muttering, but not what they're saying, over the sound of like the squeaking of the cart. The fella that's running alongside the cart will stop and kind of motion to the young lady on the other side, and they'll both stop, duck down, and you lose sight of them. A few of the soldiers kind of look to you. The one that's strumming the guitar all casual just gives you the up nod of like, how's it going? They don't address you in any way. You just pass right by.
I'll make my way to the back to where I'm facing towards them, and I'll kind of have like my feet dangling off the side, and I'll just kind of give them the little cowboy down nod of like, no trouble.
Yeah. Fellow with the guitar.
Just target practice.
Yeah. Fellow with the guitar just keeps on strumming, nods to you, and from the back window of the carriage, there's just a kind of like peeled away curtain that looks out, sees the lot of you, eyes linger on the witch for a moment, flip over to Faraday, and then they let the curtain close.
Can you distinguish anything from that?
Not
Like-
really. You just see a
Okay.
gloved hand move a curtain and folds back in.
Okay.
No eyes, no nada. Okay.
Nothing distinct, at least.
Kind of like as if
Okay.
they were like backed away from it to not be like
Mhm.
pressed up against it.
Yeah.
Okay.
As if to not get, blasted through the window. Who's that? I've been got. I made a mistake. Oops.
Can I just look around? Me not seeing them specifically, but with T pointing out to see if I see any sort of movement within the bushes, or if anything's still kind of trailing us.
Ever since T noticed that final hand motion, nothing.
Okay.
It's like those two don't exist.
Okay.
So nothing seems to be tracking you. But I'll say for Buck and even really Faraday, it's not uncommon for any large group of travelers to have outriders
Yeah.
out ahead, just seeing,
Scouts.
scoping it out.
Just scouts. Yeah.
Hey, someone's coming up ahead. 5 people on a cart.
I just think it's odd that they were coming the way that we were coming from, right?
Mhm.
That's the only odd thing that kind of.
Yeah. So that would be.
I thought they were coming the same direction as the party, but just keeping.
No.
our
So
pace.
they were
They
alongside
raced
you.
ahead,
Okay,
Yes.
found
okay.
us, and then
Yeah.
followed
Yeah.
us back.
So that's what I'm getting.
Yeah.
at. It's not uncommon to have an outrider,
Yeah. And then
half
track them the
mile,
same
mile
way.
ahead,
Yeah.
Getcha.
keeping an eye on what's coming towards the group so that they can
Yeah.
be ready. But otherwise, yeah, the free company just passes clean on by.
Dr. Carroll, have you heard anything about the Tullux in Carcosa and what they're trying to accomplish?
Should I do a history test for that? 'Cause I don't know.
Pop
let me-
quiz.
Quiz.
Here we go. So, Dr. Carroll, how often do you read the news out in Ciderland?
He reads, a good amount of news, but it's more on like the edge stuff. It's not the mainstream media. He's a little on the
He's
questionable side.
okay. So you're not reading up on major stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In that case, yeah, we'll do a history test.
15.
15.
Oh,
Okay.
plus I guess I have a mastery too. A 1. 60.
So the Tulloch name has very recently been in Sidron news. It's only been in the last maybe 4 or 5 years. But something kind of tickles the back of your mind, seeing the Tulloch banner flying proud. They were caught in a bit of a battle of succession, where one of the other minor houses challenged them for supremacy, and before they had the chance to engage in honorable combat, the Tulloch fighter was poisoned.
Ooh.
That's the only thing that kind of clicks for you. Doesn't really help in this moment, but that would have been some kind of fringe conspiratorial stuff going on that would have found its way into those side newspapers.
Now, what was your question, Ashley?
Do you have any intel into why the Tullochs might be over here in Carcasso, or what they might be working on?
You know, the Tullochs are a strange bunch. They've been trying to battle it out for a few years here now. Maybe, not quite a decade. But they've been battling through succession problems, had some poisonings. It's a little questionable what they're doing over here. I think they're trying to find a new land and home for them.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Resources and means to perhaps build up a rebellion
I
without
think so.
being seen.
I think so.
Maybe the person in the carriage was one of those succession people, whatever. I don't know what you'd call them. An heir.
An heir. That's a good term. That works.
T, you
Could be.
have like stupid high religion, right?
I'm so religious.
Because every time I've asked you for a religion test
Intelligently
to
high
date, you've rolled
religion.
like 29 or
Yeah,
higher.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. There is a quite prominent symbol in the calligraphy that was across that carriage that originally just looked like very fine filigree, very nicely carved carriage. Definitely something that royalty would have traveled in,
Okay.
but it's uncharacteristically dark. But there is a symbol on the side that would stand for Kenet, which is the mother of the moon, death and darkness. That is literally the moon of Carcasso's name is Kenet. And there's a ton of imagery all around that carriage for said deity. Which, now that I think about it, would also trigger for Buck.
Mm-hmm.
Given
That's
that-
what I was just looking. I was like, is that the one that I think it is?
Because
Okay.
given that everything is known by contrast,
Yep.
the symbol wouldn't be known, but if you were to mention it, Faraday, those two names are synonymous with life in the desert. Ramunan, Kenet, or the sun and the moon.
But for real, T, I have a question for you. How do you spell your name, or is it short for something longer?
I'll do the symbol that
Draw
everyone
out the
has
thing.
seen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just in the air.
She casts a glamour in front of your eyes.
Yeah.
That's your name?
Mm.
Is that a yes? Or like I'm stupid?
It's I nod. Mm.
It's a beautiful letter. I've never seen that language before.
It's a dead language.
Is that like the letter T for our alphabet, or is that?
No. There's not a one for one. I know my name and a few other words, simple phrases.
So how would you spell that, I guess, in our language?
Just the letter
Just
T.
the letter T.
Oh, man. Adelaide, you have some exposure to ritualistic craft, while not identical. To have the full true name of someone that can bring about magic in the world can undo that person. Which is probably why T is being very curt with you. Like, is that your full name? She's like, yeah. That's it. Just T.
Just curious.
It is among the greatest fears of any practitioner is that someone will find out their name.
Okay.
Well,
Well, that was insensitive of me.
Yeah, I'll say it's more an intuition based on T's remarks that kind
Okay.
of triggers that for you. Given that you are not a practitioner of it, it's not something that would be at the forefront of your mind. But it starts to click. You're like, oh, wait. All right. Well, if there's any other conversations that you want to have. Otherwise, you guys cover a little bit less than the ground that you had hoped to cover. But as the sun starts to set, you can see the edge of the woods, which is where you were hoping to get to today. So you've got a little bit more pushing to do, but you'll definitely get there a little bit later in the night than you would like to like set up a camp and stuff. So you'll be doing some of that in the dark, but
No problemo.
yeah.
So are we staying at the inside of the edge of the woods, or are we going to go outside of the woods?
I want Teyo's protection.
Nice.
It's a good call.
Slightly inside the woods then.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think we need to probably take the cart a little more ways off track, maybe hide it in some brush. Don't know if some of those guys are trailing us or what else is out here, so that's
Or
just
if like a train were to just come by and obliterate it.
That's
correct.
that's the bigger threat.
Well, we have
Yeah.
been just taking it off and putting it next to the tracks. I'm saying take it off and bring it like
Bring it with you.
yeah, bring it into like the tree line a little bit.
Would not be a bad idea. Is just to keep that thing near you.
Could I have the earth move kind of like a conveyor belt? You know, just kind of.
You want to try to like.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that would be an arcane test.
Okay.
Cool.
Because it's relatively simple.
Oh.
Your target number is 8.
24.
Yeah. Very good.
Do
yeah.
we even need to roll?
No.
Okay, good.
At that
I
point,
was like,
T's got us.
you get the cart into the earth, and as soon as it's off the metal where you would have no sway over it,
Right.
you're able to slide it anywhere that you need it to go.
Okay.
Where the hell was this yesterday?
There are always consequences for using magic.
All right. That's fine. That's cool. Right on.
What were the consequences of doing that?
There were none this time.
My back doesn't hurt.
Carol, you've had like an easy 2 days.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
Girls done a whole
Definitely.
lot. Yeah.
Carol, you're like, I have a slipped disc. I can't. Good luck.
I had surgery on this like 15 years ago.
Yeah. Like, no, I couldn't possibly. Camps slowly begin to assemble. Adelaide, you're like, there's my tent. Buck's like, I got the fire wood. Okay. Yeah, I'll say you guys get your camp set up. Spark a little fire. And as you settle in, start to maybe prepare a little bit of dinner. There is a substantial rustling in the trees from the tree line.
Up
And
above, down below.
just on the ground.
Okay.
For Buck, it would be at about eye level. There's a large brown and green snout that just protrudes from the tree line. And a long, like vine-maned horse kind of steps into view and just trots over towards the fire and just kind of stands and sort of sizes the 5 of you.
It's a Bloomare. Look at it. It's beautiful.
Hey, I'll hold my hand up as like a we mean no harm and to try to assess it to see if this is the creature that Teyo's talking about.
You hold your hand out, and the Bloomare finishes sizing up the 5 of you, very warily eyes the fire, but then just doesn't bow its head, but just meets your hand and allows it to rest on the nose.
And I'll kind of like look to like the left and right of it. Is there saddles, markings? No, nothing. Does it look like a natural like creature that just lives out here?
Looks like an entirely natural creature, but it's met you on the tree line.
Okay.
Are you Teyo's friend?
2 very thick, like hooves, just slam into the soft moth.
That's as much of a yes as I feel like a creature could do.
Teyo said that you may have some help for us.
Same deal. 2 heavy thuds into the moss.
Can I roll like intuition to see if those reactions are in agreement or
Yeah.
disagreement?
Sure.
I do have a question.
Meanwhile,
So,
I'll roll to lie to you. Shoot.
Oh my god.
what's
Buddy.
the deception for?
4.
4?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a horse.
Yeah.
It's kind of
I
hard
mean,
to tell. I don't know how often you spent time in like any stables back in Ciderland, but
I would imagine before, which is why Impromptu decided she would know what that was, is that she's pretty keen on Elicolts because they fit her like study.
yeah.
But I don't know if she would understand the mannerisms to that level.
Probably not. I'll say given that, I'll allow it. I'm going to allow this. Given your ties to Elicolt, I will say that you know that Bloomares are typically very solitary creatures. So they're a untapped area of study, is how we'll phrase it.
so is it weird for it to approach us like this?
Yeah. Ordinarily, they would not approach you, especially not if there was fire. And if you were to find this thing and not have received like Teyo's okay,
Yeah.
it would probably just not allow you into the woods or make
Gotcha.
your life awful while you were in there.
Have you seen the Silent Stalker?
One hoof slams into the ground.
Are you good to kind of stay with us for the night and then we take off in the morning?
Two heavy paws into the moss.
All right.
All right,
We'll just
there
make
you have
camp,
it.
hang out.
Would you like a delicious juicy apple?
Two very enthusiastic pounds into the moss.
There you
I
go.
will give it an apple.
In exchange for the apple, all 5 of you feel a little bit better about being where you are. To help you out, you will all gain the benefits of the Bloom Tender abilities. You are immune to plant damage, or rather, you resist it. And you cannot be poisoned for the duration of this effect, as long as you are within a certain amount of space around this horse.
What a delightful creature. And I'm gonna pet it.
You are able to pet this thing, and you feel a powerful connection to aspects of nature as your hand kind of reaches across it. And there's a slight trickle and trace of a few bright symbols that have no meaning to you, but that trail along the back of this horse as your hand connects. But it's like a bright green kind of flash of lettering, and the whole horse itself begins to kind of very softly glow just while your hand's in contact.
How are we doing watches tonight?
The horse will begin to surround all of you in a very large wall of vines.
Whoa.
Kind of like a big circular
Answers
space.
that question.
I think we're good.
It's up to you guys if you still want to do watches, but they will at least give you a small degree of cover.
I would like to just investigate the Bloomare. I want to take notes. I want to study. I'm not doing any experiments on it.
Just observing.
But I want to see, like, there's plant life on it. Is it growing out of it? Is it, like, just moss on a rock sort of situation? Like, those are the kinds of questions I'm hoping to answer tonight. Yeah.
There's a healthy mix of both. There's like moss and little fungal growths that are just on the surface, and there are like vines and moss that are growing
Out of it.
from the creature itself. There's like a whole trail of like flowers down the back of its mane, but everything on it seems to just be allowed to grow.
Are you awake still, or do you go to sleep?
I'm awake. Well, not
Oh.
till midnight, but
Okay. Because I would mention that to you. It seems to have an ability similar to yours, but with plants instead of the earth.
I felt something similar when I was able to make contact.
That's cool. I wonder if you could learn from it.
Who knows?
Before Buck goes to bed, he's going to
Yeah.
go out into the woods slightly, not travel off too far.
Okay.
He's going to look for a medicinal herb, if possible, for like a muscle relaxer for Faraday, because I know he's been putting in the extra overtime on the cart. See if maybe that'll help him for the following day.
Yeah. Give me a foraging and an awareness test, please.
Okay, I'll do foraging first. 21 for foraging,
Okay.
15.
15.
Hold
okay.
on, let me make sure. Because these dice are, 15. Okay.
After a brief search, you do find some goldenrod and rosemary, which, if brewed into a tea, can be some natural muscle relaxers. But while you are looking about, some of the bushes and plants near you seem to gain a suspicious level of intelligence as you are kind of walking and looking about, in that they rustle and seem to react to your movement, but not in a threatening or hostile way, with one exception, in that there is a sort of tree that's dangling a lot of vines nearby, and you hear a lot of thrashing coming from there. As you get closer to this rather large tree with these large barbed vines that are hung down, you see that roughly 15-year-old girl in the dark armor is currently like thrashing about, and an individual standing nearby is currently like igniting his hands into flame, preparing to burn the tree.
How is she kind of like hooked in? Is she like encased in this thing?
Around the neck, across the torso, one of the legs. This thing is like
Got her on all hooks. Yeah, Buck doesn't know what the hell this thing is. He's gonna take out his wrangler's rope, and he'll lasso and try to like hook like her and try to like pull against this creature, but like around the waist. And if it seems like she's starting to like choke, he's gonna like hold up, but it's just to essentially prevent her from getting pulled up further.
Wrangler's rope, give me an attack roll.
Dude, we're cursed.
1. Okay. You go to throw the wrangler's rope, and the tree itself seems to kind of like bat the rope away, as if to say, I've got this. And it just continues to kind of constrict around. The individual begins speaking softly, but with a remarkably booming voice. You hear them very clearly. Unhand the girl. As a bolt of fire will then kind of blast out towards some of these vines. And he will miss, as the tree yet again just kind of throws up some wet bark and just disperses the flame.
You know what? I'll pull out my Winchester rifle, and I will summon sticks.
And Adelaide, while you're chatting with the Bloomare and a little Elicolt's dancing, it kind of lets that Elicolt fall to pieces, and its eye kind of twitches for a second. And then it turns its head to focus in an odd direction. Its eyes kind of glaze over as if it's not really here.
Are you alright? What's got your jimmies rustled?
It's as though you're talking to a statue at the moment. Its breathing slows to like one breath every 15, 20 seconds.
Wow,
as if it
that's
is
scary.
very concentrated.
I'm still in full investigation mode. I don't
Yeah.
think there's enough for me to glean from that what's
Probably
going
not.
on. And now that it's like even more stoic and I can take even more notes and try to figure out what it's doing.
Well, Buckaroo, you've thrown out sticks.
Mm-hmm.
One more, this time a wide arc of fire is shooting out towards the tree.
Okay.
Same deal, another 4. This
Man.
tree is resilient.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
Just kind of holds it out and begins to constrict around the girl to the point that you see blood starting to emerge from these wounds. As she's just kind of, there's an almost rabid like shriek or squeal coming from. There's no word. It is just frantic sounds as this sort of individual that is just casting these spells still has not taken notice of you at all and is singularly focused on
You were
tree
that
girl.
bad with your rope. He doesn't even know.
I'll help you.
I mean,
no.
yeah, I rolled really bad.
Yeah. But Styx is out and is like
Yeah.
button eyes, just staring ahead.
He will, seeing probably as all 3 of these as hostile creatures, he'll just grip a hold of his mouth and begin to tear the stitching, and he'll go for a crow scare. Just to kind of get everybody to heal.
Yikes.
So it's influence.
Okay.
So yeah, they need to do intuition against my influence.
All right. Green's the tree.
10.
10. Check these rolls out. Tree, 19.
Good God.
Girl, 20.
Good God.
Guy, 8+. So the guy is unsettled briefly, takes notice that someone else is even here, and is like, her first.
Okay.
This is going
Stays focused.
poorly.
Yeah.
So he doesn't immediately jump on me for anything. Okay.
He is still very much like,
Save the
there's
girl.
a child in a tree being strangled by barbed vines.
Save the cheerleader, save the world.
Yes.
Buck will kind of look at the guy and being like, I'll help you, but you got some explaining to do. And he'll...
What language do you say that in?
he would start in Carcasson, or like the normal
You're
tongue
saying
here.
Carcassonne?
Yeah.
Okay. Then you will get a response.
Okay.
Say for it, we talk.
14.
It's a high.
Is it really?
Yeah.
There is a brief glimmer of truth in that statement, but there is no trust between either of you. I will say awareness tests.
Yes.
From the 4 of you. 'Cause this is pretty early into the night.
I was gonna say I feel like we
And
should have heard
stuff
this.
at this point, you will
Something.
have heard Buck cry out,
The sticks.
and the sound of
Scream.
sticks screaming, and a bunch of birds like.
6.
Okay, what'd you roll?
7.
7? Great.
10.
10? Even better.
13.
13? Okay. 4?
Bros.
Heavy sleeper.
Carol's
As the 3 of you are settling in, T, you got a 10
Yes.
on the nose.
Yeah.
You are not frightened by the sound that echoes through the trees, but you
But I
are
hear
made
it.
alert to it and that
Okay.
something is going on. Carol and Adelaide shoot up and are terrified for a moment at this just unearthly shriek that is echoing through the trees as all the birds fly away. At Faraday, you are unshaken, dude. You hear the shriek, and you hear Buck speaking in Carcassoan.
Did Buck say where he was going to anyone?
No.
Suppose we follow
Where-
the noise.
I'll ask the Bloomare. Can you sense any danger nearby?
You just get a wall-eyed stare.
Doesn't
Horse
look
eyes.
like it's here. How long has it been like this?
Not very long at all, honestly. But, I mean, did you hear that terrifying sound? It might be scared of whatever that was.
Can I see? Is there any plant or because stuff is growing off of it?
Mhm.
Is there any trail connecting this to going into the forest?
Not particularly.
Plants or anything.
No, there's plants everywhere, but
Right.
nothing particularly obvious. You guys are still in the vine-like circle.
Yeah, with its focus, can we get out even?
Do you try?
Yeah.
Then yeah, the vines
Okay.
Let's make sure the cowboy doesn't die.
I'm perfectly
will. I think
fine.
he's the safest he's ever been. But yeah, I mean, if you
Okay.
try to leave, you're allowed. You're not imprisoned in here.
Okay.
It is
Great.
difficult for other
Yes.
things to get to you, but you can leave at any time.
Let's
all
go
right,
move
I'm
on.
leaving.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll go help
Go
Buck.
find our Buck.
We'll
Okay.
be back, Bloom.
All right. I'll say it takes probably 15, 20 seconds for you guys to get your wits about you and then kind of run. And you'll see the flashes of light in the dark canopy nearby, and Styx is kind of out there. His face is all torn up. He's very oogie boogie like right now.
That's the scout from the group.
Oh, interesting. I wonder why they're here.
Maybe they're following us.
Well, there's only one way to get those questions answered. It's to help them now.
Help them?
Yeah, don't you want to ask them your questions, or are you just going to let her die?
I trust the forest a lot more than them at
Yes.
this point.
I agree with that.
What do you think, Faraday?
I have actually no opinion right now.
Oh, you're just watching.
Well, my opinion is if they were the ones that were following us, should we be helping them?
So you were
Because they
teeing
could
up.
have been hostile towards us,
Mhm.
but at the same time, if they were following us as in not wanting that group of 30 to engage with us as well, maybe we should help them. They could be allies, they could not be, but at the same time, I have no opinion.
Another flash of fire shoots out, and this one finally strikes true. However, it does also scorch the gal who is ensnared in the vines. But 2 of the vines that have her cut away, leaving one around the torso that slides up and barely catches her shoulder before it hits the neck.
I want to send out Bean on
Okay.
the side.
Bean
I'll
will
set up bed as well.
I'm going to kneel down next to Bean.
Yeah.
Say, follow Bud's lead. If he helps free the girl, then do that too. I'll be back. And I'm going to go back towards the Bloomare.
Okay.
I'm gonna follow you.
Carol, what are you up to?
No, I'm gonna try and talk to Buck and say, "Hey, Buck, are you sure what you're doing here? You know, the force has helped us this whole time. Why are we going against it now?"
Said they'd answer some questions. Seems like they've been tracking us.
So then I look at Carol and I go, so are we doing this? Or are we freeing them?
I mean, I think we should stop them, Faraday. I just don't trust them. I trust the forest.
Neither do I. But do they need to die here?
We don't know they're gonna die.
I mean, that girl's bleeding.
That might have been Buck.
And she's scorched.
Okay, I'm gonna try to calm everybody down for a minute, and so
Yeah.
I'm gonna put my hand up to Buck, and I'll pull out my what do I have?
You have a revolver.
revolver
Yeah.
to the other guy. Be like, everybody stop.
Okay, give me an influence test.
Yeah.
I will.
Do it.
I will say.
I'll give you
can-
mastery.
Oh, never mind. Okay.
15.
15.
Plus.
The tree, as soon as you're like, everybody calm down, the tree will unsnare the girl and drop her. And she's going to fall a pretty substantial
And break her
way.
neck. No.
Can I try and catch her?
Yeah?
Oh, 6.
6?
Nope. That ain't happening.
Okay. You, seeing the tragedy before it occurs, you try to fly, but you arrive just a moment too late as she lands hard on like a sideways leg, and a knee just kind of pops out of place. She lands
Owie.
down there, and she just begins hollering and almost like howling, like a wolf. But the tree will immediately just return to a natural state. As you're like, everybody just relax, and everything stops.
You have more power than I suspected, Professor.
All right, Buck. You good here?
Yeah, Buck turns the rifle onto guy that was casting fire.
Okay.
And I
He
go,
will immediately run to his friend.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for him to do anything hostile, and I'll let him tend to her. I'm not a
Yeah.
monster.
He will kind of scoop beneath her legs and kind of pick her up and see that the knee is out of place, and just looks at the. He looks. At this point, he's looking exactly at Carol. Are we done?
I think we have a few questions for you, friend.
I will give you 3 answers. Then I must go.
Better choose wisely.
Why were you following us?
We are outriders for the Talcurry. It is our job.
Did you mean us any harm, or were you just keeping an eye out for your superiors?
The latter. Are you satisfied? Can we go? She needs a physician. None of you are that.
How do you know?
That's the last question.
Yeah,
You just told me.
promise if I see you again, there'll be one between your eyes.
You will not get the chance. And he'll turn to run. He'll run, and you just hear the silent, almost like wolf pup whimper of the girl as he runs away.
We did a good deed.
We got away with one. That's for sure. Let's go back to see where everybody's at.
Oh yeah, I got these for you. And I'll hand them over and like some leaves.
I was gonna make you some tea.
Thank you.
No problem. Throw that in some water and heat it up and relax those muscles.
The 2 of you arrive back in camp. Teyo is currently standing with Bloomare. One hand on its nose, the same like green glyphs kind of glowing on the side of it. Teyo is whispering something in Sidron, and the Bloomare's breath is starting to increase to a healthy level.
Ask him if it's all right.
The Bloomare?
Yes.
I'll go up to the Bloomare, and I will nervously look at Teyo, and then look back at the Bloomare.
It will be fine.
Is it all right?
Entirely. It is a watcher of the woods.
There was some commotion a little bit that way.
Yes.
Was it the cause of it?
It was the answer to the problem.
Were they a threat to the forest, and that's why?
A potential threat. The man more than the girl.
Is it because of his flames?
Precisely. Bloomare made a calculated guess.
Everybody's okay. They were scampered off. We asked them 3 questions that weren't very good. And now we're here. Teyo, good to see you.
And you as well.
Were they following us?
They were following us, yes. That was their job. I don't think it was anything beyond that. They were just tasked with keeping an eye on us as we go through the forest.
Okay. Well, best get moving.
In the middle of the night?
Time to sleep?
Oh
It's
yeah,
like
you're right.
11
It is
PM.
really late. I'm sorry. I forgot.
Let's hit the road.
We're going.
I'm very awake now.
My adrenaline is
Yeah.
through the roof.
Teyo will start a pot of water boiling on the fire and throw in some herbs of his own. The Talcurry will keep an eye on you when you travel their roads. They prefer trickery to outright battle. You handled them well, especially you, Doctor. Well done.
Thank you, Teyo. Was that the group you warned us about?
It was. You caught their eye no more than any other traveler along the road. They are a suspicious lot. Their numbers are small.
It is weird that if they're advertising themselves as a free company, but they have the sponsor in the Tullux.
As I said, they prefer trickery.
Oh. Agreed, sir. Agreed. I knew that the whole time, too.
It is safer to travel under the banner of a great house.
I apologize if I caused any harm to your friend.
None at all. The tree will recover in time.
Okay. I just didn't think someone's life was worth dying for when they haven't done anything to harm another yet.
That you know.
So I said yet.
She could have done something.
Could have, but didn't.
Again, Bloomare made a calculated guess that to strike at the girl would disarm the man.
Smart horse.
Very smart. Does Bloomare have a name?
None that we can pronounce.
That's fascinating.
The closest translation is the rustling of branches.
Are you joining us for the night?
I will now. I have caught up.
Perfect.
There are many travelers along my road these days, but I prefer the 5 of you to the others.
Well, that's good, because I think we're going to be coming back and forth a couple times.
Teyo, you mentioned you'd be able to help us travel our next steps.
I did, and I will.
What's next for us beyond this forest?
Well, the further south you go, the thicker the woods will get, but they will open up after a time. Then you will be walking through the plains, which will be as far as Bloomare and I can take you.
Alright, well, I'm getting some shut-eye. That should help you with your muscles. Got a lot of hee-hawing to do tomorrow.
A small, tin mug of green teas is passed to you, Adelaide, for the adrenaline. It will pass.
Thank you. I'll sip on it.
Unless anybody wants to stay up, Teyo just drinks some tea and remains awake. Sun will rise the next day. Teyo seems to have let you sleep in a little bit after the night's excitement. Your cart is re-railed, and Bloomare is currently hitched to the front of it. Good morning.
Morning.
It's such a simple sight, but I have to admit, looking at that makes me pretty excited for today.
Would you like to ride?
The Bloomare? Absolutely. Where do I sign?
I don't understand.
Yes. I would love to.
Great.
Please.
Shall I help you up?
Yeah, I need a hand, please.
He will just kind of pick you up, plant you on the back of the horse. Okay. Bloomare's willing to pull until the edge of the forest, which is a 2-day journey that you're going to make in 1 day.
Cool.
So you're going to skip an extra day of travel.
Teyo, can we have a history of this land?
I can tell you the history of the forest if it would intrigue you.
Yeah, pass the time.
Teyo will take the time to explain the Immerwald, which is the forest that you guys are in, and it stretches from the southwestern quadrant of Carcasso that is documented all the way to the northeast of New Siderland. It is a multiple 100-mile swath of thick trees. And there are parts of it that are largely impenetrable if you don't know exactly what you're doing. It predates the raising of Sojourn's staff, which is the mountain range that bisects the continent horizontally. Teyo will give you another restful night, but this time he will awaken you at the traditional time of 6:30, 7 o'clock, so you get a full day of travel in there. You should reach your destination by late afternoon, at the pace you keep. I will keep the forest from your train when you head back north. Though if the train is in good working order, I doubt we shall speak again on this journey of yours. But should you find your way into my woods, I will check in. The Bloomare will kind of set the cart back on the track, and then the two of them walk, hit back into the tree line, and they're just gone amongst the brush. All right, cart pushers, who's going today?
I've had a day off, so I can start off.
We all did.
Yeah, you
It's
all got a
beautiful.
nice
Well,
day
there
of
you go.
rest, and now you're like,
All says Faraday.
oh, my
I mean,
arms. Okay.
I could try to help, but the last time I helped,
Buck
It
and
went
Faraday.
Let's do this.
bad.
Get at it.
17.
Let's go 17.
So 18 with my might.
Oh,
Thought you guys
breaking the
saw the
synchronicity. So what we're always looking for is that the total for each of you is more than 10. So you guys managed to get there at like 3 p.m. You'll hit Ravensong Station about 2
Sick.
hours ahead of schedule.
Wow.
Right in time for
As you
check-in.
guys are like, wow, I feel really well rested. It's almost like an entire day off of doing this, and my arms are fresh again. Yeah, you guys are able to blast into Ravensong Station, which is a
Heck yeah.
pretty small port settlement. It's on the western beach of Garrett's Lake, which is just a big, flat, pristine freshwater lake, which to the east would put Faraday back home. It brushes up right into the Mono End.
So I can smell the desert spice.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll arrive in Ravensong Station. It's a town of maybe 200 people. Pretty small. There's a smattering of wooden buildings, some of which are abandoned, some look like they've been rebuilt, but a lot of which have just kind of been allowed to fall into disrepair. And stationed in one of the rail yards is a very prominently filigreed Sinclair steam engine with a burst open part on the side, kind of where the engine would be. And it looks like something tore its way out, and that appears to be your quarry. As there's a Sinclair representative kind of posted up waiting there, and they've got a rolled up piece of parchment kind of sticking out of one of their pockets, and they'll see the 5 of you come hand carting down the track. And you're like, it's kind of hard to look really cool and imposing when you're like,
We're dying.
we're almost there. But this young lad will kind of sit up, go, and just kind of stand up at attention, kind of cautiously eyeing the 5 of you, standing next to the Sinclair steam engine. And there's a coal car behind it, and then a box car in the back that seems to be for cargo, but currently empty.
I guess I go up and introduce myself. Hi, I'm
Yeah.
Faraday, and we have the, what is it called?
You have the rail wraith.
The
flag?
rail
Yeah,
wraith
that's
to
what
take
it's-
these
Oh.
back.
Yes, the office sent word of you, but we were expecting you 2 days from now.
We're
You
good
made
at what
good
we
time.
do.
Very good. Yes, if you have the rail wraith, just release it into the engine, and it'll start up that way.
Will it not escape out of the hole?
It shouldn't. The last one got it into its head that it didn't want to do this anymore. Or it found a better vessel. I'm really not sure. It happened in the middle of the night. But yes, if you release it in there, and then just be sure to feed it every hour with the coal car behind to keep it moving and happy.
How many days of coal does this cart hold?
Currently, it's, if we guesstimations, probably about 10.
10.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can
Thank you.
refuel back in Fletcher's Roost, but that'll be beyond your problem. 'Cause once you get it back, your contract will be complete and you'll be paid. Here you go. Here's the train. You can release the rail wraith anytime.
Are you
Right.
just staying here? Or are you just someone in the
I
area?
am Sinclair's representative down south, yes,
Okay.
in Ravensong Station.
Just making sure we didn't have to chauffeur you back there.
No.
I let the rail wraith out into the engine.
Okay. You take the very warm metal flask out of your pocket and uncork it, and there's this caustic black smoke that pools out. And it continues to pool out until you realize the smoke itself seems to be sentient and is sort of scoping out the 5 of you before it just forms its way in. There's a little bit of a skull mask, and then it just goes and just juts into the train, which then roars to life, begins spewing that same black smoke, and that little skull points its way out the train car. All aboard!
I like this guy.
Next stop, Fletcher's Roost.
Talking to the guy. documentation, signatures, nothing like that? We're all good here?
Oh, yeah, almost forgot. Here, and he'll hand you a Sinclair badge, to be returned in exchange for whatever you put up as collateral.
We just look at Carol.
It's like,
Proof of work done. Happy travels. This one seems to be quite lively, so come on, let's go!
like you said, all aboard.
Everybody piles into the train. Faraday, given that you are the one that released it from its flask into prison, it will go on your order.
Put on your conductor hat.
All right, toot toot.
Choo choo! Let's go! Yes, so you have one car in tow, because it doesn't count the fuel car. So you can currently travel at a rate of 140 feet per round, which is roughly, 4.5 times faster than you got here. So you're going to get back in about 2.5 days. At most.
But we want to make a stop to do the...
Yeah. If you want to do what you got to do, you'll get back to Fletcher's Roost to do the pickup the day you were supposed to get here.
What's the thing we were going to stop and do?
Pick up the supplies.
Yeah, if you want to do
Fletcher's
the
Fletcher's
Winchester
Roost.
pickup, you'll go just outside of Fletcher's Roost. There's a Winchester munitions depot.
We'll pick
You'll
up.
go
Oh.
there, load up the crates, and
Bring
then
it.
come back here.
All right, so I guess I instructed that we want to go do the Winchester thing, right?
Yeah.
We're going to the munitions depot.
Yes.
You're the boss. And it just launches itself forward. There's a brief puff of smoke that kind of goes over to a track switcher and just yanks it, and the turn locks into place as you guys are back on the road north.
Yeah, we really need one of these things.
You got one!
For now.
So you guys new in town or what? I don't care. We're leaving. Don't answer that. I gotta focus. Keep it down. So you guys want to go sidetrack, hit Winchester munitions
Yes.
Yeah.
without going into town.
Correct.
Yes.
Turn around, come back to Ravensong.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then
Drop
go
off-
back again.
Yes.
Yes.
Drop off the entire cart.
Then drop off. So if we are trucking along through the night,
Yeah.
the first couple rounds through are pretty quiet. Locomotives have a dual purpose. One, they get you where you're going really fast, and two, they're really loud, so a lot of naturally curious wildlife is going to scatter into the breeze. So you guys have a nice, clear path as you're kind of riding out there. The rail wraith is not super keen on talking to anybody but Faraday. If Faraday talks, it's like you say jump, it says how high. Effectively, it is listening to you because you were the one that put it into the train. So it's like, yeah, you got it, man. Wherever you want to go. So if you say Winchester Munitions Depot, it's like, how quick you want to get there?
How fast can you go?
So fast.
Double time.
We going through the night?
Yes.
Oh, my favorite. And it's just like, it just continues on its like blistering path. All of that to say you guys will arrive at the Winchester Munitions Depot shortly after noon. on like your first day with this train, it travels through the night, and then by noon the next day you are almost back to where you started because you have an empty train.
Are we just clicking up to like cars that already have a bunch of?
Yeah, I'll say if you guys want to, long story short, agree to the terms. They just said report here, hitch up, train not required. They're not asking you where you got the train. They don't care.
Right.
So
I
the
like
rail
it.
wraith just gives you a cheeky wink and is like, double time, huh? All right, your secret's safe with me, boss.
Thank you.
Here's what I'll say for you guys so that we can get onto bigger and better things for the next session. Get this train
Get some
back
money.
at the station. We'll gloss over the 3-4 days there and back,
Okay.
bringing that money in. That'll be as you arrive in Ravensong. The individual that signed the train off to you gives you a very quizzical look, sees the 4 carts of bullets behind you, just goes, huh.
We're really
Yeah,
good
they
at
got
what we
time. He goes, yeah, I mean, they're still in the contract, okay. And the rail wraith is like, shut up! Don't snitch. But the The quizzical look of the Sinclair representative is matched by the appreciative look of the Winchester individual, she'll come walking out of a small little posting. She's dressed very finely for where she is. Comes up. Thank you for the delivery. We honestly didn't expect anybody to make this. You are very fast. Well, here's the agreed upon amount, and she'll hand you 600 gold coins.
Be sure to spread the word around of our speed.
Yes, the Signature 6 shall be known for their speed. Anyways, I suppose I'll leave you to it. Your contract is concluded. Thank you so much for servicing Winchester Munitions. And then on return, you're going to be paid 15 gold for your locomotive.
Yay!
Wow.
My plan, before I talk to the Rail Wraith, is to have a conversation with the Rail Wraith and ask him to put a good word in with Sinclair for us.
Yeah.
And that I want to work with him again.
Okay.
So that so we can get sponsored by Sinclair to have him as our Rail Wraith permanently. It's been really, really great working with you. You're super efficient. Can you put a good word in with us, with Sinclair? I want to work with you again, so a sponsorship with them would be excellent.
You want me to put in a good word with them? You should put a good word for me. Because I don't know what happened to the last guy, but he broke out of this thing, so clearly it wasn't going well.
Well,
but we should work together again.
I think we make a good team, and I think we're going to have some fun together.
Oh, I like how you think. We'll put in a good word for each other. How about that?
That sounds good to me.
And if things go sour, I'm coming with you.
Fair enough.
Now let's get back to Fletcher's Roost. Let's get you paid for this hunk of junk.
All right, let's go.
Woo woo! All aboard, baby! As you return at the end of the second day again, so you're still 2 days ahead of schedule for when you said you would be back. You're on day 12 of 14 before Callum and Carol have to spend their lives in the coal mines.
We're the Signature 6. We're known for our speed.
Yeah. Upon the return, the woman that signed over the Signature 6 as collateral for the return of this train meets you yet again in the office. You're early. I like that.
We're efficient.
That you are. Well, thank you, Signature 6, for returning our locomotive. The flask, please.
Wanted to talk about that. Is there any way we could get a sponsorship with you guys and maybe utilize the Rail Wraith when needed? We got along.
You're waiving your fee? Fee being 15 gold.
I look at all you guys and...
So does that mean the Rail Wraith would be underneath his ownership and stuff like that? Our friends and our guild hall are not held responsible for anything?
If you waive your fee?
And we did all of that for no gold, and we gained a pal of a Rail Wraith.
I haven't said no.
As long as we can get it in writing, I'm cool with that.
I'm in.
We'll draft a contract.
It's a little bit of a disappointment to do all that and not get any gold, but I guess I'm in.
And there's a knowing nod from this woman behind the counter. She goes like, "Oh, we didn't even get paid." as they're looking, as like someone's walking around pulling down the Winchester Munitions Hall, and they're like, "That was really fast. Wow, that was really good." And she's just eyeing the lot of you and is like, but there's a level of corporate respect, like
It's the game recognizes game kind of thing. Yeah.
In like a boardroom.
under timeline.
You did
under
it.
budget.
You did it 2 days faster. Handled another job back at the pickup, and are still here on time. And then negotiated your way into another one. So she will. They will drum up a contract for you, stating what we've stated above table. You may rent the locomotive that you brought back for a 20% commission, and then the higher your renown, obviously, the less they'll start to take.
Cool.
So for 20% of whatever cut you do, or if you just need it for travel, they'll negotiate a fee based on how many days it'll be away. But there will be a substantial discount to it, given that it doesn't have a rail wraith. It will not run without one.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more work for them to take it back from you than it is to just let you use it. But yeah, beyond that, Signature 6, having completed 2 jobs in one, First of all, just well done. That was very smart, very
job,
adept of you. But as you arrive back in Carcasso, the amount of wanted posters for Lautza Shirai has nearly tripled.
Wow.
They are on almost every building, and the bounty has gone up to 1,200 gold.
Whoa.
Wowzers.
And we'll cover what the broadsheets are saying about that in the next session. If you enjoyed this episode of Riftkin, please consider leaving a like on the video to show your support. If you'd like to see more of the Signature Six and follow along as we continue their adventure, why not subscribe to the channel? If you'd like to help us out in other ways, you can follow the links in this video's description box to our Patreon. From there, you can join the discussion in our Discord server, check out the post-show, still rolling, catch the new pre-shows, now airing on Wednesdays, and see extended versions of each episode a week early. Let us know in the comments below what you thought about this session of Riftkin, and your thoughts on Bloomare and the Rail Wraith. Thanks so much for watching. We'll catch you next week as the Signature Six rekindle the hunt for Lautza, buoyed by their recent windfall.